Welcome to episode 2 of My Favorite Moments podcast. I want to thank everybody from the bottom of my heart for checking out episode 1. It was absolutely awesome. Huge thank you to Daniel for being the first guest on the show. We had so much fun talking about our favorite moments in Dragon Ball Z. But now on the line, I have my friend James Hall. What is up, James?
What's going on, Omar? Good to be here.
Dude, I am so excited to talk anime, dude, because the thing is, we're just a bunch of kids that grew up to be adults, and with the unfortunate passing of Akira Toriyama, this show is more of like a tribute towards him, and the thing is, it's like when he passed away, man, I had no idea how hard it was gonna hit me. You know what I
Yep.
mean? I honestly,
Gradually.
I can tell you this: no celebrity passing away, well, doesn't mean like we love them, and anybody who passes away, it's hard. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But but this is like the first time where like it kind of hit me in the feels, and I think it's maybe because like I saw everybody else it hitting everybody else really hard, and then like you think about your childhood and like how much this show actually like meant to you, and how like a lot of anime fans, like when we love our shows and we enjoy our shows, we watch them religiously over and over, and it's just a huge part of our day, dude. So
Exactly.
rest in peace Akira Toriyama, dude. One of the things I like to talk about anybody to the people out there, a little bit of facts. The manga came out in 1984, which is insane to think, dude. That's 30 years ago. No, 40 years ago.
Yes, 40, yes.
40 years ago, dude. And Dragon Ball started out with 153 episodes. Dragon Ball Z aired in 1989. That's when I was born, dude, which is insane. April 26th. That aired 291 episodes. Dragon Ball GT came out in 1996. It only aired 64 episodes. Really short and sweet. I think people just gave it too much backlash, so it was like everybody's like, get it out of here, you know.
Yeah.
And then Dragon Ball Super in 2015 with 131 episodes, which I kind of wish it would have gone a little bit longer after like the Tournament of Power. But
Yes.
but but people out there were reading the manga know it's way past that already.
Oh, yeah.
And then of course coming out in fall of 2024, which I have a feeling everybody's gonna watch now, even the people who are haters, which is Dragon Ball Daima.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because I'm not gonna lie, like I was kind of like kind of iffy about it at first because I wanted Super to continue, and I was like, oh damn, he's a kid again.
Yep.
And I think a lot of people didn't like Dragon Ball GT because he got turned into a kid again. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Now, I'm
You
not going to
know?
say that I didn't like GT, but it was a little harder to follow at the time, especially because of how long Z went.
Yeah.
And I'm in the same boat. I was on the fence about Daima. I mean, I'm definitely going to watch it now. But then to hear the same premise, oh, wait, we're going back to kids again. And then, he's more involved in this than he was with Super. And then, of course, his passing. And as you said, it hits you right in the feels. So it's like a moral obligation almost to like, yeah, I'm going to watch Daima for sure.
Yeah, no, and you're totally correct, dude. How he did put so much work in the Daima, so so I'm definitely super interested in watching it. I wasn't at first, but I don't know exactly where Daima is exactly going. Is it just like an extension of Dragon Ball? You know what I
That
mean?
is a good question.
Yeah, do you know? I haven't done my research on it because I
I've
don't
not
know.
done enough either. I've been in conversations about it. I don't know if it is a side extension. I don't know if it's like canon or side canon or just, messing around. Definitely need to do more research as well.
Yeah, no, for sure, dude. But I'm definitely super excited about that. So, James, one of the things I want to know, man, is I want to know the first time you ever had a moment with either Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z, or whenever it was, dude. Like, take me back to a time where it was young James getting into anime and finding this amazing anime that we know of Dragon Ball.
Well, I'd have to say back in the day, um, if you just had regular cable TV, I mean, I
Mm,
still remember to this day Channel 48, Cartoon Network,
yep.
when Toonami started blowing up.
Hmm.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I grew up on like WB stuff when I was real young, like right before school. I'd be watching like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh!
Hmm.
So that helped me get my foot in the door. But as you grow a little older, you delve into different shows, and I did not have the greatest childhood. So certain things, music, obviously, big escape, but and so were TV shows. It's always whatever mom or dad's watching on the TV. And I felt like the few things I watched on my own was some of the like little bit of control I had in my life.
Yeah,
It was at that same moment it concluded when or coincided with Toonami really blowing up, and of course DBZ was was there, and that's it. It hooked me because I remember watching the original Dragon Ball before Toonami put out Dragon Ball Z. So I'm like, oh wait, they kind of kept this going because I wasn't reading the mangas. So yeah, once that came out on Toonami, that was it. That's what got me hooked, synced in, and just ever since then.
that's awesome. Do you so when you got into Dragon Ball Z and Toonami, do you remember exactly where the show was, and like as far as like what saga? Because I remember when I first got into Dragon Ball Z and I started watching it on Toonami. It started off with in the Captain Ginyu saga where on Namek, and
Yeah.
then I had to go back and rewatch like all of the Saiyan saga and that whole growth up to it, because when I first got into it, it was like oh like Captain Giyu and like Jace and Girder and all that, you know what I mean, and them doing like their crazy dances and so I had to go back and watch like the Zarbon and like the Deborah and just everybody getting there to find the Krillin and Gohan getting there with Bulma to find the Dragon Balls before Vegeta arrived and before Goku knew they were in trouble and had to train under what was it 400 was it 400 times gravity? I forget how much it was in the little capsule. It was like I don't think it was 400. I think
No,
that's what
Goku, I think he was training under 100 times Earth gravity.
100 times gravity.
Yeah.
You know what? The reason I said 400 times is because at one point I remember Vegeta training in like 400 times gravity.
Yeah, that was later on.
Yeah, that was later on, and I remember that's when he brought Trunks in to like train with
Yes.
him, and like Trunks showed him that he could turn Super Saiyan for the first time, and he's like, tell me, boy, can Kakarot's boy turn into a Super Saiyan too? He's like, oh yeah, we just heard,
Yeah, just like that.
yeah, you know what I mean. And I love the part in there where he's like, if you can lay one hand on me, I'll take you to get ice cream. And like he punches him, and then Vegeta punches him back. He's like, why would you do that, boy? He's like, I didn't say I wouldn't punch you back. And then he starts crying, and then he's like, get your shoes on, we're going to get ice cream.
Exactly. It's like you wanted to feel bad for Trunks, but as a kid, you should have seen that coming, Trunks.
it was funny, but I love that dude.
Oh
It's
no, it was
it
great.
yeah. So that's super awesome. So James, let's get into our 5 moments. I'm gonna think of 5 different moments that I said the last episode,
Yeah.
just so we can keep it fresh. I might eventually run out of moments and have to reuse some, but
No problem.
yeah, but let's start with you, man. What is your first? It doesn't have to. This isn't a ranking system, by the way. This can just be favorite moments of yours that you thought were just great for not only the show but for you as well. What is your first favorite moment of the Dragon Ball series?
Well, it took me going back to it, but and you've given me the messed up thing is you've given me plenty of warning. This was like a week in the making, and I've spent the whole time thinking, and it's still so difficult.
Oh
But
yeah.
they always say go with your first instinct. So
Hmm.
when it comes to that, this is actually more of a collection of moments throughout
Okay.
original Dragon Ball. It was always just Goku giving someone the business, and so when he was a kid, especially with Bulma, when she like tried to use her wiles to get her way, and he just wasn't having it, and he would just
Oh
be
yeah.
with her. Just classic original Goku. Something that's kind of stuck with him into adulthood. I've always loved that.
Oh
When
yeah.
he tried to, flash her underwear, and he just, why would I want? No, what? No.
Oh God, dude, Master Roshi was
Exactly.
so bad back in the day.
Oh yeah.
They were,
I kind of forget about that.
yeah, he was. They didn't give a crap back in the day, dude.
No, they did not. They really did not. But that helped make it great. And it helped make it nostalgic. Like, dude, like this current stuff's great, but remember how unhinged it was back in the day? We
Oh
get to see
yeah.
so
Oh yeah. No, I like it, dude. I like the beginning when it was like him fighting the Red Ribbon Army, and Doctor Gero and all that, and that one guy with the ponytail. I forget his name. The one
oh,
it was like Master something.
I
I
want to say
forget.
Tao
Yeah,
Pan.
yeah, General
Yeah.
Tao.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so and if anybody's watching this, dude, you can correct us too if we both screwed that up.
Oh, please, yeah, please do so.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. No, I absolutely dig it. Let's see. Since it's my turn as a favorite moment, I think one of my favorite moments has to be is when Vegeta shows his what is it, the Big Bang attack, right?
Yes.
Yeah, where he's fighting Cell, and I remember when he came out, him and Trunks. It was what it was it the hyperbolic time chamber, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, where they went in there and trained and it was before they knew that like if they got all bulky, it would actually slow them down in a fight.
It was more of a
You know,
hindrance than a buff. Yeah.
yeah, it was a hindrance and a buff, and this was like and this was right after Vegeta made the mistake of giving up an android. So because they were already so much stronger than Cell
Yeah.
at his second stage, he's like, oh here, I want to fight you at your most perfect form. And then he ends up eating 18, and then he becomes perfect Cell.
Classic Saiyan pride right
Yeah,
there.
but after the yeah with the Big Bang attack, dude, I thought it was incredible because like it sliced Cell in half. But it was
Yeah.
it, it was such a powerful attack. Him with his hands open, and then getting his hands and it was so awesome. But it was also like a moment where like Trunks was like very humbling because he knew he was stronger than his dad. You know what I
Yes.
mean? But they both screwed up. And I think what Goku and Gohan did right is that they trained how to stay in their Super Saiyan state and just learn how to master that state without having to go through the constant power up of them wasting energy. Because when Gohan and Goku came out of the hyperbolic time chamber, they were just Super Saiyan, but they were able to control it like normal people.
Yeah, it was they had great mastery over the stamina drain, and
Yep.
they could just exist in it like it was nothing. So,
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, the Big Bang attack, I thought it was incredible. Vegeta's my favorite character.
oh yeah.
So cause just because he has like the best, I think he has like the best arc. Going from somebody who was behind genocide to being like a good dad and like this like one of the saviors of the earth, and also just like him having compassion for Goku later on in the years.
Yep.
And especially like even in Super where like they're both training under Whis and Beerus and all that, and they're just like it's like more of a homie competitiveness. So I would say Vegeta's Big Bang Attack dude would be the one.
Absolutely. No, that's a great moment right there.
Yeah.
And
This is
I just want to interject here. I'm gonna agree with you. I'm also a Vegeta fan.
uh-huh.
Always root for the underdog. Like it was hard in the Saiyan saga when he came to planet Earth and he was fighting Goku because it's like, okay, yep, clearly he's the villain. And then you jump to the Frieza saga when they're on Namek, and I mean, it was obvious he had his own motives,
Yeah.
but that he was working together with the Z fighters, it's like it was like a will they, won't they kind of thing. And as it progressed forward, yeah, it was like the first time you really see Vegeta give acknowledgement to Goku for his strength and conceding that, yes, you should be the one to beat him, like do it for us, for our race. I actually kind of believe in you, kind of thing. And then you really see it when Goku gets back to Earth. Vegeta's there. I love how they do subtle color transition. Like he's wearing a pink shirt. It's
Oh yeah.
a little effeminate. It's like you're letting him know. Yeah, no, yes, audience. He's not a bad. Look at the pink shirt. He's a good guy now.
Oh
It's
yeah.
like how it was in my mind. And yeah, I loved his arc. So totally agree with you there.
Oh yeah. So what's your next favorite moment? Or or,
Next.
or or do you want me to start on my next one?
Oh yeah, no, please.
All right, so my next favorite moment is gonna be in the Tournament of Power. And it's gonna be when Goku is fighting Kale and Khalifa.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And it's the point where what was it when did Kale and Khalifa form together as one, or was it just
Yeah, it was a kind of a dirty move because the Grand
yeah.
Angel said like no outside stuff, no weapons, no items, but their god of destruction threw him those Patara earrings. So they
Yep. Okay, thank you for the correction. So it was when Goku kind of did the same move he did against Pycon where he kind of like he knew he couldn't evade the attack, so he would use his instant transmission. And it was when he like one shot them with the Kamehameha wave and took them right out of the ring.
Oh yeah, the point blank. Yeah.
Yeah, the point blank, and I just loved, I love how smart that was, you know. And it was same with PyCon when it was the New World Tournament and Goku couldn't avoid his attacks. You know, he's like, how the hell am I going to beat this person? And then he used it the same way, where it's like, oh, they think they got Goku beat, and then all of a sudden Goku's on the side of him, or I think it was above them, and he has this Kamehameha wave, and he's just like, boom,
Yep.
blast them out, and I just thought, I thought that was incredible, man. I thought that was such a sweet
Absolutely.
moment, and it's just it shows the smarts, you know. I feel like Goku matured a little bit, you know, going
Yeah.
through the tournament. He definitely made like some dirty moves, but
Oh no,
you know what I
Goku's
mean?
always had a great like it's the flip side. Everything has a balance, and while he's kind of a dummy in a lot of ways, he has such great battle intelligence. It's like it's in his bones. He acts so instinctually, and he's such a great fighter that yeah.
Yeah, so I would say that's I would say that's one of my favorite moments in that fight in the other world tournament. I thought that was super sick, and also I liked all the I liked all those sayings because it was from Universe 6, right? It was
Yes.
where yeah. So it was Kel, Khalifa, and what's his name? The
Kaba.
one Gabba Tabba was it?
Kaba, like cabbage.
Yeah, Kaba. The one who was like, "Oh, Master Vegeta, let me train under you and
Yeah.
everything." You know what I mean? And oh man, oh that brings me to a cool moment that Vegeta and Kaba had.
Oh
You
yeah. No,
know,
they've had great. They've had
yeah,
great.
and I'm not going to use this as one of my top moments, but just as a side moment, it's
Take a shot.
where Vegeta purposely like insulted Kaba and said that, "Hey, I'm going to destroy your world and I'm going to kill everybody you love," and he purposely made Kaba turn into a Super Saiyan.
To trigger it, yeah.
Yeah, to trigger, you know. And it's insane, dude, when like you think about like how you know, but how Goku turned Super Saiyan, it was a trigger as well.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But it's insane how later in the arcs, like when Goten and Trunks turned into Super Saiyan, it was more kind of out of just like a it's kind of just out
Yeah.
of a transformation,
And
you
to
know,
touch on that, I know people gave um the new writer kind of a little bit of shit, like, well, Vegeta had Kappa triggered into it. Why were the girls able to just use the tingle on their back to get it super easy? And I'm kind of like, are y'all just glossing over that Goten and Trunks did it super easy as kids too? They've covered that. It can be easily done. So,
oh yeah. Well, you know what? I kind of think of it kind of like in anything in life that when it's already been done before, people just know how to replicate it.
yep,
You know, I'm sure somebody had like, oh, after somebody did their first ever podcast, then there's a million podcasts out there.
they're out there. Yep.
Yeah, no, I know, I totally feel you on that. And to be honest, I don't really remember any moments of when Goten and Trunks turned Super Saiyan as far as like them showing it like when they had their first time transformation. Like
Yeah.
I don't remember there being any episode. They were kind of just Super Saiyan, and then all of a sudden they were able to fuse. Then all of a sudden they were able to go three. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, pretty wild. How, well, I don't want to say it was a cop out. I want to say it spoke to their heritage, who their parents were, and they're
True.
both like Gohan in the sense that they're half human and half Saiyan, so they have much higher potential than just pure Saiyans alone.
Yeah.
And it's like, come on, of course they were easily able to achieve it. They
Yeah.
have the potential for it. And I'm really glad actually you spoke about the instant transmission
Mm-hmm.
with Goku did to Kefla. That actually segues into my second favorite moment was when he pulled a similar move against Cell.
Oh yeah.
Like, you know, these iconic attacks of theirs have subtle language like Goku's Kamehameha, the way Vegeta uses his
Got the gun.
Gatlic gun, yes, and like Gotenks' Masenko.
Mm-hmm.
And the instant transmission, you usually see him putting his fingers to his forehead, and then he has the Kamehameha all just geared up and ready. He's got one syllable left. It's about to go off. And without using the body language, they even talked about it. It wasn't super speed or hyper speed. They claimed it was instant transmission, and he just pops right in front of Cell, just that point blank. It was
Oh yeah.
it shocked audiences everywhere. It's still talked about to this day as one of people's best moments. Clearly one of my favorites. I'm glad you
Oh yeah.
said that because I was like, oh yeah, that's one of my favorites when he did the same thing to Cell.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh yeah. No, I love it, dude. I love it. We'll continue on the cell games. Probably the way the Cell games ended when Gohan went to go save Vegeta's life from getting just totally killed, and he got crippled with one of his arms.
Yeah, that very
So
wrong left one.
yeah, so he was only he I remember like Goku talking to him like instinctively like, hey, do another Kamehameha blast. You know what I mean? And I remember just, him doing like the one-handed Kamehameha blast, and I remember just like the moment where like the two beams are going back and forth, and you just think that Cell's gonna take over, and then all of a sudden you see this blast hit Cell's back, and it cripples him, and
Yep.
all of a sudden you see Vegeta using the last of his power, and then you hear Goku's voice, Gohan now, and then Gohan just like ah.
Yeah,
And,
just yeah,
and,
just
and, and,
passively
and,
beat
and what's awesome is that you see like a little faded picture of Goku behind Gohan while he's doing the blast, and just like, and I always loved how like when they did a huge blast like that, they would pan out to how the Earth looks like, and it just shows like a beam flying out of Earth,
Yep.
which always felt weird to me because I always felt like, man, I wonder if like that whole side of the planet just got like destroyed.
It's like
You know that?
atmospheres must have changed. There's got to be like scraping damage somewhere because that beam was huge. Yeah, I
Yeah,
always wondered that
no,
too.
yeah. Yeah, in Dragon Ball Z, that was like probably my favorite arc was have to be like the Cell games. Either it's the Cell games and the Other World Tournament. I just totally loved. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
With Alibu and all that, it was super sick. And also I love like the East, West, North, and South Kais, and then the Grand Kai. You know what I
Well, I'm
mean?
glad they
And
kept expanding on that with Super. It's like, okay, so now there's more than these Kais and all these other Kais. Turns out there's ones above them. Turns out there's ones that work aside them. Oh, turns out there's other universes. Oh, turns out there's this whole echelon of stuff. I'm just glad they really kept fleshing it out, because you can only play with what you have for so long. And when you have done that well, playing with what you have, when you do expand it, you can't be cheap about it. It's got to be good. And I guess I'm in the minority. I don't want to say one of the few. A lot of people like Super, but I guess I'm in the minority. Maybe it's like 60-40, 45-55. I am in the minority who loves Super and what they did with it. So
oh yeah, dude, Super is my favorite, dude. I love Super so much.
it's great.
The Yeah, dude, no, dude, the Tournament of Power, I thought it was incredible, and like with Jiren and Topo, dude, like those guys were just
Yes.
absolute beasts, dude. So what's funny about like we were talking about like the Kais is that it's like that's actually one of the reasons of my belief system that I have now. So I don't know if it inspired me to have this belief system, but like for me, like I'm a very spiritual person, and I always talk about how I like multi-God theory.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And I believe that there's just entities above entities above entities throughout the universe. You know what I mean? So when people think of like a god for like our humanity, I think of it as like one person in charge. That's like under somebody else, and under that's like somebody else, and there's like somebody else, but we just don't have like the consciousness to have to like formulate what the outside universe actually has to offer. So when
Absolutely.
people ask me, they're like, "Are you religious?" I'm like, "Well, I kind of believe in multi-God theory." They're like, "What's that?" Well, I believe there's like somebody who watches Earth, then there's somebody who watches the other planets, then there's somebody who watches our solar system, and then that person who watches our solar system has a boss who watches the rest of the solar systems.
And
And
that
but
sounds
but
like it sounds like such a unique point of view, like a unique niche into that kind of belief. Because when you say that multi-God, it's the term is pantheistic. Like monotheistic is the belief in one, pantheistic is the belief in many. But when people say pantheistic, they always go the traditional route of like, oh, like Celtic and stuff like that. It's like, no, this one's a unique. I like what you said. It sounds very unique. I
yeah,
don't.
isn't that what kind of Buddhists think about too? Right?
Well, it's hard for me to remember what Buddhists think about.
Yeah.
I kind of went to reincarnation, and maybe Buddhists do believe in that, but I think the main one of reincarnation is in India with theirs. Oh God, the Sikh religion.
Yeah.
I'm an atheist.
I did.
Don't
Oh,
quote me on
yes.
any religion.
No, no, for sure. No, me neither. I'm just like I'm a huge multi-god guy. So
It's
and
it's a great theory. I mean, I it's a very
yeah.
interesting one. I'm an open person, So I love
Yeah.
hearing people's different theories, and yours was one of the most, if not the most unique I've heard so far.
Oh yeah. Well, you know what? I think with Dragon Ball Z has a huge factor of it because it kind of opened my brain how like because like us as humans, we are so creative. I mean, just look at the technology we're creating now. Like, if people would have seen our technology 400 years ago, supposedly that they didn't have any, I think sometimes history books are full of shit. I don't think that just in the last 100 years that all of a sudden we just became smart and figured out all these things. You know what I mean? I am a believer of like the great resets of our planet. That things just we just happen to like re-evolve again because if they say we're like billions of years old and everything, it's like I'm sure 1,000 years ago they had some sort of Zoom technology where we're using microphones and lights and cameras because people when I'm 34 and when I was like 12, dude, I remember asking my parents for like this like Macintosh computer,
Yeah.
and I remember that my computer, it was like $1,000 back in the day. And it didn't even have the processing power of my phone. Not even close.
Oh yeah, no.
And just to think about that in 22 years, my phone has 10 times the commuting power of that big gray desktop that I used to have. That used to be that I did. You remember back in the day when you used to have to upload a file and it would tell you like a week from now, and it would and
Yeah.
it would have two folders and a little folder would just like fly over, and it would take forever, dude. You
I
know what I
remember that
mean?
little folder too. Damn it. Oh, okay,
You know what
that
I mean?
triggered me a little, that little folder.
Oh yeah, dude. And no, and so it's like just to think that like in just our lifetime, which is crazy because if we think about like our parents or our grandparents, that just in our lifetime, that how it's just dramatically jumped.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like even anime is looking intense right now. Like I've been watching Demon Slayer,
Yeah.
and Demon Slayer uses like 3D and like all this like water art type of things, and it looks so real. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? Of
And I mean, I'm glad we're doing this. You're doing this podcast, and I'm glad to be on it. And
course.
Akira Toriyama's passing, of all the things that people stop and reflect on, is how he really helped anime explode. I mean, not just
Hmm.
like, especially in the Western world, across all the world in general, and how that really inspired people growing up and throughout the world. And from when it like really started to blow up till now, how many people it must have inspired. And now we have what we have now, as you're saying, these different types of animes, how they're so crazy. Look, it's like, well, I'm sure a number of them grew up inspired watching stuff like Dragon Ball Z and everything else it spawned.
Oh yeah, you know what the thing is too? I've noticed what kind of Dragon Ball Z started. They're the ones who kind of started like the whole power level type of thing, because
Yep.
I feel like every other anime like references like Dragon Ball Z constantly because in all these polls of who versus who, it's everybody versus the Saiyans, everybody.
Yep.
And then the hugest argument out right now is like One Punch Man can just one punch Goku or one punch Vegeta and all that. But it's crazy that like Akira Toriyama's anime is like everybody versus what he's going through with
Yeah,
all the
no, he
power
set the
level.
bar.
Yeah, he set the bar. Exactly. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. He set the bar for every other anime on a power level aspect. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Because what happens is like when Dragon Ball Z came out, and this was for me before because I used to be like just a one-way track like religiously into Dragon Ball Z, and I didn't like any other anime. It's because Dragon Ball Z had such a huge power level and they were doing all these magical things that when I would watch other animes, I was like, oh, they're weak, dude. Like, oh, like these are people Krillin could destructo disc into oblivion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like, these guys suck. They're using swords. Like, who uses swords? You know?
It's really funny when people get really excited and you're like, you know what? Throw my man Yamcha in there and people just like him.
Oh yeah. So it's yeah, no, I agree, dude. Yeah, they definitely set the bar high, dude.
Yep. Oh, one of my
Yeah.
favorite terms for it is litmus. They are the
Litmus.
litmus. Yeah, Goku and Vegeta are the litmus test for other animes scaling up their power up to their power.
Oh
That's my
yeah.
for it is
Well,
litmus.
the thing is like, dude, I always loved the idea of a Saiyan though over other anime characters. Because the whole fact that like a Saiyan could get hurt and recover and they're powerful just after a battle,
Yep.
it's insane. Like no other person in any other anime that I know of can say, Oh well, I just got my ass kicked, but I'm actually stronger now.
Just for having my ass kicked.
Yeah,
That's
just for having my ass kicked, I'm already stronger. So it's just absolutely insane that like because like right now the anime I'm watching is One Piece,
yeah.
and I'm about 700 episodes in, which is insane that 700 episodes is longer than all the arcs put together.
Yep.
But it's like, yeah, no, it's tough, man. But
Uh,
let's go into some more moments.
yeah, no problem.
I think it's your turn.
Yeah, I'll go. Let's
Okay.
see here. We were talking about the Cell games, and towards the end of it, that reminded me of one of my favorites was how they moved into the Majin Buu saga. Because again, big Vegeta fan, always rooting for an underdog, especially when they are an underdog. So I'm gonna go with the moment. Oh, hey puppies. I'm gonna go with the moment when Vegeta sacrificed himself to try and stop Majin Buu.
I
Like
love it.
that really cemented his status as a good person. It really pushed his redemption arc further. And again, classic underdog moment because even he felt it might not have been enough. He knew he wasn't strong enough to beat Boo. He put his all into that move. And I always felt it was kind of a dick move where Goku instant transmission Cell to King Kai's planet. Like, wait. You couldn't have gone to space or something. And then Vegeta, he just
Yep.
wanted to make sure there was no collateral damage.
Yeah.
And yeah, I loved that moment. Big defining one for me.
Yeah, no, absolutely, dude. And that was a great moment because that was the moment where Vegeta purposely let Babidi take over his body. I mean his body.
Yeah.
Like Vegeta knew exactly what he was doing because he knew he was going to get a power boost.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Which is just like so smart again because after like Babidi wanted to take over his body again, Vegeta's like, there's one thing one Saiyan will never lose, and that's his pride.
Exactly.
And he blows up that machine, dude, and then Bobby's like, "Oh my god," you know, and yeah, no, dude, that's such an incredible moment, especially for Vegeta. Like it showed a lot of his humanity. You know what I mean? So,
Yes.
so no, I thought that was extremely great. That reminds me of like another moment with Vegeta where he was fighting Topo, God of Destruction,
Yes.
and he was totally getting destroyed, and he ended up using the self destruct again.
Yep.
And I remember he was powering up for it, and everybody and like Piccolo was like, "Oh my god, he's doing it again." You know what I mean? Everybody's like freaking out, and he actually ended up eliminating Topo and surviving it. You
Yep. I
know?
mean, at great cost, but yeah, he survived it and he learned from it. And that was also a great moment.
Oh yeah.
I thought about
Uh
it, but the OG always has its moment. So,
yeah, no, I agree. One of my favorite moments was the end of Super where they knocked out Jiren. Because as a fan, it was so cool to see 17, Frieza, and Goku all work together.
yes.
Yeah, and also, one of the other cool powers that I thought is awesome is with the androids, how 17 he doesn't lose power.
Yeah. Infinite energy.
Yeah, infinite energy, so that's like an incredible power that I think gets overlooked because like he was actually a lot of people don't talk about how strong he actually was, you
Yep.
know. But also what kind of throws me off is that how in Dragon Ball Super that everybody had all these massive power spikes. You know what I mean? Because it was like so for 17, it's like him even being able to compete. You know what I mean? Because what was it? He was like a he would like protect animals and wildlife. He was like kind of like a ranger guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like when he had that power spike, it was just kind of incredible to me. And also he wasn't doing like the force field attacks that he was doing in this one. Because right, he was doing like a force field sort of attack where
Yeah.
he
He
had
was
like a
using it in very creative ways.
yeah, very creative ways. So I wish there was a little bit more backstory where
Yeah, they kind of
it,
glossed over it when Goku went to recruit him and how he just said, "Well, yeah, I've been training and doing this." And it's like that's cool, but like you said, I'd love a little more backstory on that.
yeah. So I totally love that moment, dude, where Goku and Frieza are like going in on like holding like Jiren, you know what I mean? And then just like them purposely like sacrificing themselves just to take Jiren out and have
Yep.
17 be the victor. And one of my moments besides that's attached to that moment is that when it's all over, and 17 revives all the universes. And
Yep.
you see the big dragon flying in the air, the big gold dragon reviving everybody. But then I love that this is such a great moment. Is like when Frieza's like, "All right, go ahead, send me back to hell. I'm ready." And then Whis is like, "Oh, not so fast." Like ding. And all of a sudden Frieza becomes live again, and everybody's like, "Oh!" and it's like, oh,
Yeah, that's wild. I didn't think the angel, I mean, I know angels are supposed to be even stronger than the gods of destruction they serve in order to help keep them in check. And he can move like faster than the speed of light in order to transport Beerus across the universe fairly quickly.
yeah.
He can like reverse time, do a certain thing. But like that was revival. He brought Frieza back to I didn't know he had that capability.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, they're above it all. They're above it all, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they are like very humble about what they can do. So
Yeah, so I would say that's my next favorite moment. So
well, that's a great moment there.
yeah, so I think right now you're on your fourth favorite moment.
Yeah, going into number 4 here. So
Yeah.
little Goku giving everyone the business. There was Goku's instant transmission against Cell. Vegeta's. Oh, okay, yeah. So okay,
Yep.
I mean, I do have one moment, and it's all been pretty serious so far. I want to dip a little bit back into the comedy. This is just one standalone moment, and it's in Super. And Goku is just eager to get away from the farm. He's wanting to do some training. And Hercule was having that little tournament
Yep.
and he wants to get involved. And then and then he sees Chi Chi and she's livid. He's like, oh crap, I gotta get out of here. Hercule, punch me hard. Quick, just do it. And okay. And he hits him, and Goku like pretends to be so blown back that he's flying away. And he's going up to the building, and you see him float back down. Ah, I forgot my tractor, and he picks it up and just keeps flying above the building. Like,
Oh
dude,
yeah.
come
Oh
on.
my god. Oh my god. Oh, you just reminded me of it. Oh my god. You reminded me of one of the greatest moments of Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z.
Well, that
Um,
that was my moment. I just want to say
Okay, okay. So this moment was absolutely incredible. I forgot how great it was. Do you remember where Krillin is with Gohan and Goku? No, I think he's just with Goku, and they're like by like the river or something, and like they're fishing for dinner, and and
yes.
and Krillin was having a moment going, look at Goku, he's just so peaceful and magical. He's like, I bet if I threw a rock at him right now, he'd dodge it without even thinking about it. And he grabs
Yep.
the rock and he throws it at Goku, and it nails him in the head.
Yeah,
He's like,
he hucks it and he just
yeah, he's like, why the hell would you do that for?
well,
He's
I
like, I'm
thought you
sorry.
did.
Yeah, he's like, I thought you died. He's like, what the hell, Krillin? That really hurt. It was such a moment because like if you show Krillin throwing the rock, and he's like, oh, he's just so powerful now. Watch, he's not even gonna think twice about it, and he throws the rock, and it nails Goku right in the head, and Goku's just like, what the hell, man?
All right, if we're talking about quick moments, can I give a quick shout out? Because
Yeah.
you just reminded me of this one. Dylan never learns. It was in Super again, and he had that same thought, like, man, I bet you've just become so powerful. So, you know what? I gotta know personally. Punch me. He's like, wait, what? Yes, Goku, punch me right in the face. And they go back and forth, like, are you sure? Yes, are you sure? It's gonna hurt. And he does it, and he blows him mind. He's going through forest, he goes through the house. And like Goku goes to catch him, and then he misses, and Krillin hits the side of a rock.
Oh God.
Ah, Krillin never learns.
Oh yeah. No,
Uh,
I dig it. That was funny, dude. That was funny. All right. Let's see my next moment, dude. Oh, there's so many great moments. I would say one of the other moments was shit, man. I do like it when Piccolo got really strong after fusing with oh my God, what's his name he fused with? The
the
other
first
Namek
Guardian
guy?
of Earth or the guy on Namek?
No, not Dende. It was the Namek. Yeah, the other Namek.
Well, he fused with a Namekian on
Yeah,
Earth.
yeah. Okay,
Okay, so because he did it once on planet Namek with a Namekian called Nail, and then
okay.
he
That's the one I was talking about.
that guy. Okay.
Yeah, so I liked it when he came in and he forced Frieza to have to transform into his final ability.
Yes.
So I do like that, dude. I do like how I did appreciate all the power spikes that Piccolo would get. when he was super strong, you know. But it never lasted long. And same with like Vegeta's power spikes.
Yep.
Vegeta's power spikes never lasted long. It was like, oh, like let's see, in Super it was like Breaker Blue. A lot of people called it Breaker Blue, like basically like Super Saiyan 2, but in the in yeah, Super Saiyan Blue 2.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he literally looked the same way as they did when they got out of the hyperbolic time chamber, which is like a buff version. You
Yeah.
know, and that was when they first started fighting Jiren side to side, and Goku was going Kaioken, you know,
Yep.
in blue. So
And
I
I'm
thought,
actually really glad they did that. I'm so glad that it's stopped being Vegeta just catching up to the same thing Goku was doing, and Vegeta really started taking his own path and his own way of doing stuff.
yeah, no, I agree, dude. But you know, like I didn't like we talked on the last podcast that like Akira wasn't like a huge fan of Vegeta, and he was kind of baffled that like everybody is like loved him
Yep.
so much. I wish he would have thrown him some slack because it like all the moments that Vegeta had breakthroughs like were so massive for me. You know what
Yep.
I mean? Like just every single moment where he just like went off the rails, you know. And the thing is, like he ended up caring about it's like he went from being like the genocide guy to people saying like, oh, Vegeta's like a better parent, or you know what I mean? Like just like throwing all those narratives out, and even and also just like we talked about this the last episode, but like his undying love for Bulma. You know,
Yep.
like when Beerus first showed up to Earth, and like he's like Vegeta's cooking and trying to get everything ready for Beerus and Whis. And Bulma doesn't like how Beerus is treating Vegeta. You know, he's like and Bulma like steps up to Beerus. He's like, hey, you can't just treat people like this, you know, and be all rude and everything. And Vegeta's like, oh, like Bulma, please don't. You know, and then all of a sudden, you know, Beerus slaps Bulma, you know, and that moment where like Vegeta just completely lost it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And what's crazy is that like if you look closely, if you like watch it slow motion, it does look like it does look like Vegeta goes Super Saiyan 2 right there.
Yeah.
Because they never really announced Gohan, I mean Vegeta going Super Saiyan 2. They never formally announce it, you know, like
Yeah.
Goku announces Super Saiyan 2 when he's fighting Boo, when he right before he's going to Super Saiyan 3. You know what I mean? And then and I'm pretty sure Vegeta went Super Saiyan 2 when he went into the Majin stage. You know,
Yeah.
but they never really announced it. You know, and Vegeta must have just gone into like some next level power level when he got all pissed off at Beerus because you saw
Yes.
him because when you saw him flying, he went Super Saiyan, right? While he was flying at Beerus, but then you saw like another flash, like another like spike behind him where it just like he looked like sharper, you know,
Yeah. He had
and the
the blue
super,
electricity.
yeah, and the Super Saiyan 2, yeah, the blue electricity, that's usually like the tell sign of Super
Yeah.
Saiyan 2. And where he just smashes into Beerus. You know what I mean? And yeah, it just I you know, I a lot of people told me in the mangas after the Tournament of Power that Vegeta gets to shine for a little bit, you know. So I'm gonna definitely read into that because
Well,
I
this is a good task, perhaps, for any of the viewers who watch this, to quote me personally, if I'm wrong.
mhm.
I
Me
think they
too.
call that form when they get like that mad, because I remember his eyes went like blank white.
Oh, I already know what you're gonna say.
Oh, Super Saiyan Rage.
Okay, I was gonna say Berserker.
Oh, or Berserk. It's been called that as well. Yes.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, cause that's what they or yeah, Rage or Berserker, because that's what like a Brawly would always have.
Yes.
You know, and that's where was it Kale, right? Kale went when Kale went Berserker and
Yes.
on in Super the Tournament of Power where she just like turned all green.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I dig it, man.
Same.
Yeah, no, that's a great moment. And after I finish One Piece, I'm gonna go back and watch all of Dragon Ball Z. But
Just
I gotta catch up. I'm like 250 episodes, but you know. But you know what? I feel like sometimes shows being short and sweet, I think it's great. You know what I mean? Because like I do really like One Piece, and One Piece is like probably my second favorite anime now.
yeah.
And then it's again I've watched Naruto and I've watched Demon Slayer, and actually you know my first anime ever was actually Saint Seiya,
Oh,
here yeah, Warriors of the Zodiac, which now I rewatched it back and it's like one of the corniest things I've ever seen in my life.
wow.
It's just the first season's good and then it's just garbage, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just such a shitty anime.
No, it can be hard to find like strike a balance with something that has that many episodes, and then you try and go through more anime. And it's like, wow,
yeah.
we have
Well,
24.
well,
It's
because I've heard people compare like One Piece to like like as the top rankings of animes because people have like their hierarchy of animes.
yeah.
But the thing is, it's also like, you know, Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z and all that. Everybody complains about how like, oh, like the one joke. It's like, how long? What was it? Oh, how many Dragon Ball Z characters does it take to change a light bulb?
Oh, here we go.
Right? And they said one, but it takes 14 episodes. You
Yeah, okay, all right. I'll
know
give you that. I'll give you that.
what I mean? But the thing is that like even if that's the case, the whole power up, I always thought that was the whole powering up was a great thing.
Yes.
Same with like the Spirit Bomb being like maybe 3 or 4 episodes. The thing is that when you watch a lot of these other animes that have a lot of huge like just a ton of episodes, there is a lot of filler that just like doesn't make any sense with a lot of shit.
Yeah.
You
That's
know what
true.
I mean? Because I love One Piece, but I'm not gonna lie, there's like 100 episodes of just nothing that has to do with anything with the show, really. They're
It's
kind of
true.
just like they're just side shows.
Yep. And I
You know
feel
what
like people fell in love with that show so much that the creators felt they could get away with it. Like, well, they don't mind that it's a filler because they just love the characters so much. So watching the characters do anything is a good enough episode for them. And
True.
just an opinion.
No, no, for sure. And I'll tell you just from like a fan of One Piece that I actually skipped all the fillers. No, I legit
There's nothing wrong with that either.
my friend gave me a website where it would skip me past all the fillers.
That's a damn good idea. Wow.
Yeah, because like the thing is like they would throw fillers in right in the middle of a fight. You know
Yep.
what I mean? Or because a lot of the fillers would be like a backstory that would lead into a bunch of but the backstory was like its own show in its own.
Yes.
And I'm just like, man, like why do I want to watch 10 episodes of this shit?
Exactly. Like put it in between arcs if you have to, but like you said, like right in the middle of a fight, that always bugged the crap out of me.
Yeah, so is there any other animes that you're watching right now? Or
Uh
or or, or maybe another anime that you really love? This is like a side question.
I've been trying to get into a lot, and like when I said to strike the balance between like 12 to 24 episodes in an anime compared to shows that have like hundreds, I thought a really good one that did really well was Full Metal Alchemist, like
Okay.
50 to 70 episodes. I loved it, especially Brotherhood. I love that. I'm
I
currently trying to go through Jujutsu Kaisen,
okay.
stay on top of some of the modern stuff right now. So those two for sure, yeah.
I'm gonna have to check those out because Full Metal Alchemist has been recommended to me a lot.
Oh, please start with the Brotherhood.
So
Great.
here's the thing. I will start it, but I'm one of those people that have to finish one whole anime before I jump on something else.
And things can get convoluted. I understand that.
Yeah, like you know what I mean? Like so like when the new Demon Slayer comes out, like what I like about it is that they release all the episodes at once because on Netflix. So like for me, I'll binge watch it in one day. You know what I mean? So with Super, it's like tonight, like I'll watch maybe like I was Super with One Piece, I'll watch like 6 episodes tonight.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So I definitely gotta catch up. Let's see. We're at our fifth moments right now.
Yep, then we're at our last one.
Okay, let's see. Even if it's I'm gonna use like one of my repeating moments,
Yeah.
even if it's just because I think like it's super important, and I'm gonna do this every episode just because it's like probably like one of my favorite moments of all time.
Yeah.
Um, I would say probably like let's see, boy, it's a hard one because my top three favorite moments of all time is when Gohan turns Super Saiyan 2 in the Cell games. That's one of my
Uh,
most iconic moments. Number two is when Future Trunks comes down and tests Goku's power, and Goku puts out his one finger to fight against Trunks with his sword.
yes.
I thought that was incredible. But also when Goku turns Ultra Instinct for the first time,
Yes.
I thought that was magical because everybody counted him out and everything, and everybody thinks and you sense no energy, and then all of a sudden you see Beerus bow his head, and he's like he's coming, and then you hear like oh,
The
you know what
chorus.
I mean?
Hell yeah.
And then you hear like a phew, like a sound, and all
Yep.
of a sudden Ultra Instinct and like everybody's like this is the power everybody's talking about, you know what I mean? Which is
Yep.
insane. But for me, I would say the moment I've watched the most has to be the Gohan turning Super Saiyan 2. Even though Vegeta's my favorite character, and I love Vegeta's moments when Gohan turned Super Saiyan 2, it was just so iconic because everybody was getting their asses kicked. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, you know, Android 16 tries to give Gohan like a pep talk. It was
Yeah.
about Gohan, just let go. All the pain and suffering that Cell has done to all the people on the planet. He's like, just let go. And Cell just has like no remorse. And he goes in and steps into Android 16's head. And then what happens is that Gohan, he starts to lose it, but he sees like a little bird fly by. You know what I mean? And which is like a signal of like life or something, you know? And
Yes.
then he's like, I won't let you win, or something like that. And then Gohan just turns Super Saiyan 2, and it's just like, and then he one hits all the Cell Jingers. He kills all of them with one hit. You know, he flies in and he obliterates them.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And then the part he walks up to Cell because Cell has the sensu beans,
Yep.
and he walks up to him and he puts his hand up and just swipes it, right? And all of a sudden Cell's just like, oh, like where'd they go? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And I thought that was just like it's such an iconic moment that I've watched so many times that just gives me the goosebumps.
Oh
Is
yeah.
Gohan going Super Saiyan 2 because a lot of every arc had a form of Gohan holding back, but then having an outburst. You know what I mean?
Oh
When
yeah.
when 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 Goku is fighting Raditz and Raditz and he could hear Goku getting his ass beat, you know, and everything, and then all of a sudden he like well no was that Raditz or was that Vegeta where he where he burst out of like the Saiyan pod.
That was Raditz, yeah.
Yeah, he bursts out of this and he just headbutts,
Yep.
Raditz, and like I think he breaks his armor. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? He
yeah, shatters it.
Yeah, he shatters his armor, and I'm sure there's other crazy outburst moments that he had before. I'm sure he had one against Frieza, but it didn't last very long.
Yeah.
But yeah, he just had his little outburst. I feel like they all led up to that moment because like Goku just always knew that he had that in him, and Piccolo always knew that he had that in him. You know what I
Yep.
mean? And I also thought it was pretty cool that like uh Gohan decided to wear the clothing that Piccolo always wore when he fought Cell, it was pretty cool. That was probably my favorite outfit Gohan ever had
Yep.
when he had the Piccolo outfit and the shoulder, the huge
Well, they
shoulder
grew up,
pads.
training in it because Goku was dead for a while there, so it just kind of became part of his natural attire. I've always liked him wearing it too. So,
Yeah. So yeah, I would say for my last moment, easily Gohan going Super Saiyan 2
you know what?
was
That's a
absolutely
great one.
iconic.
And to end on this, on my favorite moment, it's such a cliche answer to say
It's okay.
going Ultra Instinct, but it's just because of what it meant for the show. It's like that's always
Oh God, huge,
yeah.
huge.
It's
It
like
it,
it
it,
doesn't
it
end.
set
You think it's gonna end, but it doesn't.
it set the bar again.
It did. It
because
reset.
because because all the memes and everything and the comparisons they all changed again because
Yep.
before that Ultra Instinct moment happened they were saying Super Saiyan 4 Goku, the 8 form in GT, right? That was
Yep.
like the ultimate form, and now everything is comparing to Ultra Instinct. Every meme I see, every single comparison, it's Goku Ultra Instinct.
Yep.
You know what I
And
mean?
it reset it because okay, so now I'm sorry. Now there's this Ultra Instinct sign and he hasn't mastered it. What does it look like mastered? Oh, he did it. He mastered it. And then you're reading the manga, and I'm sorry for viewers out there, spoiler alert. When you're reading the manga, as it progresses, you learn that he's going against Ultra Instinct's clearing of the mind and he's putting emotion and thought into it to create his own version of it. And it still keeps, he's not even going to stop there. He's going to keep going. And
Oh
it's
yeah.
like, wow, thank you. Cause you always, people say just let it die out. And it's like, no, that's not Goku. He's always looking for the next stage, the next level. It's who he is, who we've come to know and love. It's what pushes the show. And I'm glad they did. And they did it in such a cool way, like taking it to the level of gods. Cause that's what was joked about around Super Saiyan 3 going to Super Saiyan 4 is like eventually Goku's just going to become a god. And they're like, you
Yeah.
know what? That's a great idea. Let's do a whole thing about that. And I think it's really great.
I think it's great, dude.
So yeah.
I think we both had some good five favorite moments in Dragon Ball Z.
Absolutely. Of
For the last like 5 minutes, we'll talk about just like little things that I loved about it growing up.
course.
I love the action figures growing up. I used to buy them all the time. I lost them all in a fire, but back in the day, I
Oh,
used to. Yeah, it's okay. I lost them all, but I remember like I remember going to Chinatown in the Bay Area and buying my first wall scroll, and
oh,
and and,
nice.
and they're way more official than the ones you would buy like at a Zoomies or anything.
Yeah.
Like this wall scroll was like a 6 feet by 4 feet wall scroll, and it
Oh,
was and it was like Goku turning Super Saiyan for the first time.
hell yeah.
Nostalgic things I loved about Dragon Ball Z as a kid is when they would do the mashup of like Linkin Park songs with Goku.
Oh,
And I remember
man.
I remember they did like one of like Paper Cut, and it was like it was one where it was like future Gohan with one arm fighting like the Saiyans 1v2.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And because back in the day they used to cross those paths. Dragon Ball Z and Linkin Park songs would always they'd always make those songs, and I thought they were just like so incredible. And also like another one was one of my favorite computer games that they had, and I believe it was out for a console. It was when Budokai came out.
Yes.
And Budokai was like an extremely iconic video game when I was younger.
Yes, it
You know what I mean?
was.
You remember that?
I do. I love the Budokais. I loved Budokai Tenkaichi as well.
Yeah.
Those were again the litmus test, and it's so wild that things will get higher. Like now they use Goku and Vegeta, Ultra Instinct, Ultra Ego is like the bar for stuff, but with the video games, you go back. It's like, okay, was it as good as like it's good, but was it as good as the PS2
Yep.
version? Like, man, those were so good that to this day, you can still ask that question. Are they as good as that?
Oh yeah.
Because those were amazing. I was actually gonna say, as for nostalgic, that's my favorite as well, was the Budokai and the Tenkaichi games. Thank you for
Yeah.
bringing that up.
Of course. No, for sure, dude. OG fan right here, dude.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, dude. I would say let's end this interview with tell me your favorite character and then tell me your favorite villain.
Well, Vegeta what is my favorite character. He's just got the arc, bad guy to good guy, great dad, loving husband. He even refined his own thinking, like how he presents the pride of the Saiyans. It's not just some egotistical thing anymore. It has meaning and just all around. I could go on, but we're trying to end this. So Vegeta, favorite character. Favorite villain, difficult one. You know what? I want to say Majin Buu. I mean, he had more transformations almost than Cell. It was a wild ride. It was a wild story. It kind of led us to the brink of solar system level, like threat to galactic threat, and left off just to start with the gods. And also, Buu helped bring out Gohan's ultimate potential. A lot happened. So yeah, Vegeta, favorite character. Buu, favorite villain.
I love it. For me, yeah, easily Vegeta as well. Even though he didn't get the big piece of the cake all the time. Easily
It was
Vegeta though,
best.
just because of the arc and also like it was weird. Goku was also it was like Goku was like Vegeta's Yang. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Because the thing is like Goku just like transformed different. He went through his power spikes different, and Vegeta had to do everything the hard way.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it was like but Vegeta never gave up, dude. Like when he turns when they pan out about how when he turned Super Saiyan for the first time, and he was on that planet, like and he they had it was like a meteor shower was happening,
Yeah.
like a big meteor shower, and he was like he's like, oh, I had to protect my ship at all costs, or else I'm gonna be like gonna die on this planet, and then he was like. He's like, I don't care if I'm ever stronger than Goku. He's like, I don't care about being powerful anymore. He's like, I don't care. I forget what he said, but then he gets mad, and he finally turns Super Saiyan for the first time,
Yep.
on that planet, which I thought was incredible. I would say my favorite villain. I would say maybe he's not necessarily a villain. I would have to say Jiren for the
Okay.
reason
Okay.
that Jiren, like I feel like Topo kind of showed him like some humanity towards
Yeah.
the end when the show was like, hey man, like I'm here for you, like forget all this, and I feel like Jiren, like because they showed like he had like a hard past and everything.
Yeah.
It was kind of like Vegeta's past where like he lost his family and lost everything, and he was just like a little boy with like a chip on his shoulder. And I
Yeah.
thought like same with Hit, what I mean, because I thought Hit was incredible.
Yeah,
You
maybe
know,
not villains, but they were excellent antagonists.
antagonists. There you go. But you know what? Villain. Hmm. Villain's tough. I would say.
It
Let's
was. I
see.
struggled with that one.
Yeah, it'd probably have to be Cell.
So,
Yeah, just because that's like my one of my favorite arcs ever. It was just the Cell
that's a
was
good
just
one.
really good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And also he was evil. He was going around like sucking everybody's souls out to get stronger.
Yet there
You
was no
know?
redemption for he's
But you know what scene I've rewatched a lot too? When Trunks gets all powerful from visiting the future. I mean the
yeah.
past. And then he goes back to the time where Cell was just born, and he
Yeah.
like what and he one shots him.
Yep. He's like, nope, nipping this in the bud right now.
Yeah, nipping this around the butt. And it was incredible. Yeah, I love it. Well,
Great.
James, thank you so much for being on my favorite moments podcast. Uh, this I can't wait till we get to 100 episodes, but I definitely want to have you back here in the future.
Oh,
I would say
thank
I would say maybe like 8 episodes we could revisit again. And,
absolutely.
and and I know I definitely want to revisit when one of the times I want to revisit with you is when Daima first comes out.
Oh
I want
yeah.
I want to message you and I want us to both watch the episode in that same week. And then I want me and you to give a review and a recap about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because I think because we both talked about how like well I know I talked about how I was a little standoffish,
Yeah.
but you re-educated me about like how Akira really put his heart into it. You know what I
Yes.
mean? And everybody reiterated that to me about how like dude like this was really important to him.
Yep.
So
I'm all for it. I think it's a great idea.
all right, well James Hall, thank you so much for being on my favorite moments podcast.
Thank you for having me.
And everybody like, comment, and subscribe. But brother, I will talk to you later.
Absolutely, man. You have a good one.
You too.